All right, the question here is very vague, right? What most effectively illustrates the claim. So we just got to see what's the claim, where is this going? So let's see, we're kind of filling in the blank here. The Young Girl is a 1920 short story by Catherine Mansfield. In the story, the narrator takes an unnamed 17-year-old girl and her younger brother out for a meal. No claim yet. In describing the teenager, Mansfield frequently contrasts the character's pleasant appearance with her unpleasant attitude, as when Mansfield writes of the teenager something. Okay, so there's a contrast between pleasant appearance and unpleasant attitude. So we're looking for something that's kind of a positive and negative mix. Let's just go on that and see if we can get anything. A, I heard her murmur, "I can't bear flowers on a table." They had evidently been giving her intense pain, for she positively closed her eyes as I moved them away. Well, there's nothing about her appearance. Positively is a little bit of a trap here, right? You think that's positive, but it's pain, so you're like, oh, positive and negative. No, she's closing her eyes from the pain, so it's all negative. So I don't understand this line. I've never read this book, but it doesn't seem like it's checking the boxes that I needed to check. So this feels wrong to me. Let's keep going. While we waited, she took out a little gold powder box with a mirror in the lid, shook the poor little puff as though she loathed it, and dabbed her lovely nose. Well, lovely nose is positive, but loathing is negative. That means hatred. So maybe that has the positive and negative. I don't know yet. Let's move on. I saw, after that, she couldn't stand this place a moment longer. That's clearly negative. And indeed, she jumped up and turned away while I went through the vulgar act of paying for the tea. Well, nothing positive there, right? Paying for the tea, it's a vulgar act. That's also negative. So this is all negative, no positive. Doesn't seem right. D, she didn't even take her gloves off. She lowered her eyes and drummed on the table. When a faint violin sounded, she winced and bit her lip again. Again, wincing is bad. It means that it's kind of what you do when you like stub your toe. You wince in pain. And taking off gloves or lowering eyes, that has no connotation whatsoever. Like, I guess it's negative just because of the wincing, but for me to say that that's positive, I'd be making up a story. So really, even if you have no idea what's going on, B at least has the right connotations in it. That probably is enough to just be like, okay, this is the only one with positives and negatives, then that's what I know I'm looking for. If you wanted to have a little deeper, right, it was a positive, her pleasant appearance, so that the appearance is positive, and her attitude is negative. So let's see if we can even, justify it even further. While we waited, she took out a little gold powder box with a mirror in the lid, so that sounds appearance related, right, how you look. Shook the poor little puff as though she loathed it, so her attitude, she's, I guess, like shaking a little, like, I don't know, cotton thing or something. I don't know. So her attitude is that she loathed it. She hated it. And dabbed her lovely nose. Well, obviously her lovely nose has to do with how she looks. So we're getting those other ideas too of appearance and attitude. So we're getting everything. But like I said, I would have stopped short a long time ago. B was the only thing that had both the positive and negative. That's enough for me to pick it and move on. You don't need to understand everything on a deep level because it's a multiple choice test. And if you can eliminate the three choices because the three wrong answers because they don't match what you're expecting, that's probably enough to just pick the right one. And especially if you're having trouble finishing, you've got to be okay with getting to like a 70 or 80% level of certainty on a question and moving on so that you can get to more questions. Because if you run out of time, that's points you just are completely losing. At least this, you've got a really good shot just using positive and negative ideas.